What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Tech Cubed, and today we are going to be taking a look at VMware Workstation Pro. Now, this is going to be kind of the first real part to a series that I announced I was going to be doing a little bit ago, 2 months ago, to be exact, and sorry it's taking me so long to get this video out, but it's here now, and yeah, we're going to get started with the series. We got 5 good pieces of software that we're going to be looking at, all for virtualization, all alternatives to something like VirtualBox. And this is, of course, the first episode where we're going to be taking a look at a piece of software. And if you watched kind of the introductory episode a couple months ago, then you would know that this video is going to be about VMware Workstation Pro. Now, for any of you who know what VMware Workstation Pro is, you know it's a pretty high-end piece of software. It's not more for the average consumer using virtual machines type of thing, kind of like if you're on Windows and you want to do experience Linux for the first time. This isn't really your piece of software. I'm just going to let you know that to begin with. You're going to be more better off with VirtualBox, because this is a paid piece of software. It's not for a normal virtualization type things. It's for high-end things. We're going to be taking a look at that, some of the features. We're going to be taking a look at the software itself. But yeah, so this is more your high-end piece of software. So if you're looking for a good piece of software that you want to kind of experience Linux for the first time with, or do anything like that, this is not really the video for you. So when you go to VMware website, you'll end up with something like this. This is VMware Workstation Pro. Of course, this is the web page that will explain it all to you, and of course persuade you to purchase it. So on the overview here, it kind of goes over what you're getting here. So run VMs and containers on a single PC. Enjoy baked-in vSphere and ESXi support. Develop and test for any platform. Run secure and isolated desktops. So pretty good features here. Has a bunch of great things in here, like of course, virtual machines and like high performance 3D graphics and things like that. And then your use cases in here, of course. For IT professionals, of course, to design, test, and demo software solutions for nearly any device, platform, or cloud. Solutions for developers to build and test apps and operating systems with ease, and solutions for business. So things like that. Not average consumer type things. This, of course, I've said this before, say it again, high-end piece of software we're working with here. And then, of course, you go into your system requirements, of course. You are going to want something, of course, 32 gigs. You're going to want a decent amount of RAM on here to be able to run something like that. But you get a decent amount of operating systems it is supported with. It's also useful to note, this is not compatible with macOS. If you're looking for a VMware piece of software for macOS, this is not the video for you. That is a totally different thing called VMware Fusion that is for macOS. So this is more of, Windows, and apparently you can get this on Linux as well. So yeah, and you have a couple other things that you can run this on as well, like Solaris, FreeBSD, and things like that. You're going to want, of course, Intel Sandy Bridge or newer CPU, which I believe is the second generation Intel CPUs, so kind of like a Core i7 2600K, somewhere around there. So yeah, you're going to want something that's pretty decent as well. Maybe Sandy Bridge is a little bit on the older side, so you may want to opt for something a little newer. Something, pretty high end. You're going to want pretty fast components, of course, to be able to run some of the features that this is intended to be using. Of course, VMware Fusion, virtual machines for Mac as well, and then Workstation Player, which we will look at in the next video. So you're getting like pretty high-end piece of software here, and then it'll go through here and show you like the features so you can choose the right version. So if someone who is not quite sure what they're looking at here can look at this and be like, oh, this isn't quite the software for me. So when you get into VMware Workstation Pro, you can download it for free. There is a trial period before you have to purchase it. I believe it was maybe 30 days, maybe 15. I'm not completely sure. It's somewhere around there. So I'm not completely sure, of course. But you are going to have a you're gonna have a trial period basically, and you can kind of test it out. And if it's right for you, of course, and you can purchase it. If it's not, you can do something else like Workstation Player. But if we look through here, you'll see, of course, that a lot of the basic features that most users are looking for is gonna be what you're getting in Workstation Player. It's only when you come down here that you see that Workstation Pro gives you a lot more features that you're gonna want for more high-end things, like encrypted virtual machines and secure boot support. Not basic users doing basic virtual machines don't really need that type of thing. That's more pro features, of course. And of course, you're not really getting this on macOS. That is Workstation Fusion. No macOS support. However, Workstation Fusion is also a good piece of software and something I recommend taking a look at if you are looking for a good virtual machine solution for running on Mac OS. I believe that is also paid as well, so that is something to take into consideration. But yeah, no. So we come down here: create full clones, create linked clones, remote vSphere, host, power control, virtual network simulation, packet loss, latency, bandwidth, that type of stuff, and virtual network customization. That is all more high-end features. So if you're going to be testing software and whatnot, that is really the use case for that. Yeah, so that's what you're getting in Workstation Pro that you don't really need if you are just going to be running basic virtual machines. And we come down here for the pricing, of course. It is free for personal use, Workstation Player, and not for Workstation Pro. Of course, you have the trial period, as it says down here. For Workstation Player does not include that. Well, mainly because it's, of course, free. But both have commercial licenses, so that is something to keep in mind. Of course, you can buy it on here or contact them. So yeah, that is something to take a look at if you are needing a more high-end piece of virtualization software. Average user definitely does not need something like this, but more high-end things like that, of course, like development and IT professionals, this is where you want to look at if you need a good piece of virtualization software. So when you open up VMware Workstation Pro, this is what you're going to be greeted with. We don't have any virtual machines set up right now in VMware Workstation Pro, but this is what you're going to be greeted with when you open it up. So you get pretty good options here. You do get a lot that you can do right off the bat. So, if you were to go through here and create a new virtual machine, of course, this may look like doing it for a Workstation Player as well, but you do have a bunch of that type of stuff. If you did use Workstation Player and you're going to Workstation Pro, you will feel right at home since they are very similar. They're made by the same developer, of course. However, you are going to be getting, of course, some more high-end features, which is what this is designed for. So if we come through here, of course, you get the ISO, and you can do it later. So that is really what this is designed for. You are really just getting a more high-end piece of software if you choose to go with the Workstation Pro over Workstation Player. So that, of course, if you are looking for a high-end piece of software, great. This may be the piece of software for you. If you are looking for something more, of course, entry-level, you're like a Windows user and you want to get into virtual machines and you want to test out, say, Linux or something like that, or experiment with some of the other OSs or even Windows versions, like even in anything from MS-DOS to Windows 11, as far as I know, will work just fine on VirtualBox and VMware Workstation Player. But yeah, no, so of course, more high-end. But if you are a high-end user and you are looking getting a good piece of software for virtualization, this may be it for you. So that is just a quick look at VMware Workstation Pro. This isn't an in-depth tutorial how to use it or an in-depth review, but this is just a quick look at what you are going to be getting when you do use Workstation Pro. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope if you are deciding to get Workstation Pro, Workstation Play, or something like that, I hope this helped you on your journey to finding what you are looking for. And if you have any suggestions for anything you want to do, maybe you want a full review about this. Any suggestions, honestly, just leave them in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video where we are going to be taking a look at Workstation Player. And I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. And Tech Cubed, over and out.